Like I get a lot of validation from it, from being able to see other people appreciate it, and it helps me like lessen my inner critic a bit, like so I'm able to see my art in a more positive light, and it helps me not focus on just the problems.
And here, I started working with youth, and they were telling me things that were going on, right? Like what was going on here in Grand Junction, in the Western Slope. And I realized that, there was some kind of barriers to getting to cool programs where they could just be who they were, be themselves, get a sense of belonging, and, just like meet cool people without worrying about bullying or, like sometimes it's hard to get transportation to certain programs or they cost too much. What if I had some of my colleagues come in and help youth in those fields? And not like a college where they have to like go for 4 years or even 2 years, but just kind of plant seeds so they could see what those jobs are like. And then maybe they would also learn business skills where they could make a business card or an artist statement or sell their work, do an art market. So we did a pilot program in Dallas, and it was with 2 high schools and 1 middle school, and it went super well. Except it wasn't a nonprofit, and I had to pay for everything myself. And I was like, I'll never do that again. If I start this again, it'll be a nonprofit where I can raise money. I just thought, like, dude, can I do this? And then I'd wake up the next morning. It's kind of my tenacity is like, I'm quitting, and then I'll wake up the next morning, and I'm like, no, I'm not. We're gonna do this.
I was always told when I was younger that if I was going to be an artist, I was going to start with that. And I was determined to prove everyone wrong when unemployed, to see the youth thrive in a manner that I wish I could have when I was that age.
What drew you to band?
Honestly, I had mentioned to my wife that I wanted to maybe start a youth illustration class, and she was like, you should talk to BAM. Draw with comic books and whatever, but that was limited to like me and my best friend in a basement trying to figure out how people drew things rather than having the exposure or the opportunity to work with artists that are actually out there doing it. Early on, I had an art teacher that hated me, and she was really hard on me. And in the next room over was a journalism teacher in high school, and she kind of brought me under her wing and taught me how to design things and taught me that there was a path forward in that way.
We have people with lived experience that are the mentors, and that we get, trauma-informed training and LGBTQ awareness and training with like Living Beyond Understanding and our partners, Colorado West Pride, and that we're making sure that we really are able to let youth lead and have their voice. I saw just how beautiful it was for youth to be able to have the power themselves to say, this is my work, I'm stepping out of the comfort zone, I'm super nervous, but I'm gonna do it. And then when they can choose that path later on and have a little bit more confidence in themselves, knowing a little bit about what it takes to get into a career for their own. Even if they choose not to go into art, it can still be really helpful.
I really wanted to be a paleontologist, but as I got older, I really don't want to be working a lot of hours out in the hot sun, and I really love art, so I figured that was like a really great way to combine my interest for science and my love of art.
Did you have any doubts what you were ever capable of?
I've had a lot of doubts of what I'm capable of.
Was they brought on by anything?
Just like having people like constantly comment on your art when you're younger, and I had a cousin that was really artistic and like that I worked a lot with, but she was on like a much higher level, so that sort of made me like doubt myself, like whether I was actually good at art.
So sense of belonging is the most important thing to me about BAM. And even for some of us adults, we get that at BAM because we get to meet other artists, and it's a good place of community.
Me to BAM was the fact that I had been researching art clubs, and the fact that it was like a judgment-free zone. But after being in BAM for about 2 years, I've noticed that I'm like able to put myself out there a lot more, that I'm more involved, and a lot of putting my art out there has really forced me to be brave, and like having the courage to be myself just so I can be comfortable has really like, I've really forced myself to be brave there, because there's a lot of scary things that can happen when you're openly like queer and trans.
Other youth, I've seen some imposter syndrome pop up, and generally it's you know, this isn't good enough, this, you know, drawing isn't good enough, and then, you know, from that to going to a show last night where they're actually selling their artwork to adults, I think is a big eye opener for a lot of people. Give my younger self advice, I would say to just get started, to just not worry about what people think, not worry about what others are doing, and not worry about what people are going to think about what I'm doing, and just stay true to what feels right.
I think that what people should know about BAM is that, number one, no matter who you are, you do not have to be good at art, okay? We don't have, you do not even need to draw a stick figure. You just come to BAM, hang out, you know, it's a vibe. So, sense of belonging is everything.
Art has really helped improve my connection to the world around me, because I've been able to find really great communities through art, and I've found that a lot of people who are in our communities tend to be really accepting. I don't have to be afraid that people will judge me for like having struggled with mental health, for being queer, or just judging my art.
What did you need to hear when you were young that you could tell yourself now?
See you next week.